Hello student, today's topic is leucopoiesis. Leucopoiesis, the word consists of leukos means white, poiesis means formation of leukocyte or WBC. This process starts with a stem cell called hemocytoblast. Hemocytoblast is a continuously dividing cell. It gives two different types of cell, myeloid stem cell and lymphoid stem cell. Myeloid stem cell gives rise to RBC, WBC and platelets, while lymphoid stem cell gives rise to other kind of WBCs. Let's start with a myeloid stem cell. Myeloid stem cell gives rise to three different kind of cell: monoblast, myeloblast and megakaryoblast. This is determined by various hormones. When myeloid stem cell gets stimulated by interleukin 3, interleukin 5 and a factor called a granulocyte colony stimulating factor, then it will give rise to monoblast. Monoblast gives rise to another kind of cell that is called as promonocyte. Promonocyte has continuously condensing nucleus and granules which are not visible by any stain under microscope. As a result, it gives rise to a mature monocyte. Then mature monocyte get entry into the blood through sinusoidal capillary. When myeloid stem cell gets stimulated by interleukin 3, interleukin 5 granulocyte stimulate factor, it will give rise to myeloblast. Myeloblast can give rise to three different types of cells: basophilic promyelocyte, eosinophilic promyelocyte and neutrophilic promyelocyte. Now about the basophilic promyelocyte. Here the gene get activated and it synthesizes different kind of granules which make it different from the other two cells, and it gives rise to basophilic myelocyte. At this stage nucleus start condensing. That's why its nucleus has somewhat U-shaped, but later on as it condenses more, it get converted into other kind of cell, basophilic band cell, which has perfectly U-shaped nucleus and it has granules which are stained by basophilic dye. So these cells are called as basophilic band cell. Later on, after maturation, it gives rise to basophil, which has more condensed nucleus and it becomes S-shaped nucleus. After maturation, basophil enters into the bloodstream by sinusoidal capillary. Second type of cell which is produced by myeloblast is eosinophilic promyelocyte. Eosinophilic promyelocyte, as the name suggests, it get activated, its DNA get activated which synthesize special kind of granules which are stained by eosinophilic dye. So these kind of cells are called as eosinophilic cells. Here eosinophilic promyelocyte, it get converted into eosinophilic myelocyte, which has a nucleus somewhat U-shaped, but it is not perfect. Later on it gives rise to another kind of cell that is called as eosinophilic band cell, which has perfectly U-shaped nucleus and has granules which makes it eosinophilic. When its DNA get highly condensed, it becomes a cell called eosinophil and it has two-lobed nucleus which is called as bilobed nucleus, and this cell takes entry into the blood through the sinusoidal capillary. Another kind of cell which is synthesized by myeloblast is neutrophilic promyelocyte. neutrophilic promyelocyte, it gives rise to another kind of cell, that is neutrophilic myelocyte. Here the nucleus is more active. It gives rise to different kind of granules which are stained by acidic as well as basic dye. So these granules shows both color, pink as well as blue color. So it is not perfectly acidic and not perfectly basic. So this cell has name neutrophil. Okay, neutrophilic band cell. It again at the stage where nucleus get condenses more and more, and finally it gives rise to 3 or 4 lobed nucleus, and thus the mature neutrophils are produced. Then this mature neutrophil takes entry into the blood through the sinusoidal capillary. Now about the platelets. From which cell does these platelets are formed? To find this answer, we have to move back to the myeloid stem cell. When myeloid stem cell gets stimulated by a particular hormone which is secreted by kidney and liver, this hormone is called as thrombopoietin. This hormone stimulates the myeloid stem cell to give rise to or to convert into a megakaryoblast. This megakaryoblast cell become active and converted into another type of cell called promegakaryocyte. Promegakaryocyte become metabolically very active cell, and it has a huge size, a huge nucleus. So as the name suggests, mega means very big and karyon means nucleus. It has very big nucleus, and later on when it takes entry into the blood in the sinusoidal capillary, these cells breaks into the fragment and the platelets are raised. Now again move back to the main stem cell, that is hematocytoblast or hemocytoblast. Hemocytoblast, it gives rise to a lymphoid stem cell. This lymphoid stem cell, by stimulating certain chemical like interleukin 3, interleukin 5 and granulocytic colony stimulating factors, it get converted into lymphoblast. Lymphoblast, it get mature into a cell called prolymphoblast. Prolymphoblast, it becomes metabolically very active and it get converted into immature lymphocyte. This immature lymphocyte will give rise to two different types of cell, that is B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. B lymphocyte, it matures inside the bone marrow and takes entry into the blood through the sinusoidal capillary, while T lymphocyte reaches the primary lymphoid organ, that is thymus, where it attains maturity. Later on, after maturation, it takes entry into the blood. In this way, all kind of WBC enter into the blood, and this completes the process of leucopoiesis.